about because it is so controversial. Dave, we're talking about some really meaningful changes, and a lot of them really have to do with timing, right?
For sure, and it would impact you potentially in a lot of ways. Maybe we can start with the early voting changes here. Now, last year was different, but in the past, you had 29 days to vote. Last year, because of the pandemic, they changed that, so they gave you 40 days, and we saw how many people showed up to do that. Under this proposal, Republicans would shorten it to 18 days. Obviously, quite a big change from what it was last year, and even a significant change from what it was previously. The national average, just to give you an idea, that is 19 days. So this would roughly bring this date in line with this, albeit some major changes from what they were before.
From early voting to, well, most people who vote absentee are voting early, but absentee requests. Let's talk about the shrinking the time frame on this.
For sure, and if you probably had these things where you got them almost something in the mail almost every week last year saying, hey, get your ballot early. So this is, again, changing the calendar on here. Right now, you can request it. You don't get it yet, but you could request an absentee ballot starting 120 days before the election. Republicans would shrink this as well, so they would shrink it down to 70 days. They think this would streamline the process. Democrats are saying that all it really does is makes it a shorter window, just like all these other changes, and gives people fewer opportunities to vote.
You know, satellite voting is really a form of absentee voting. This is the one that I guess confuses me the most. Explain this one, Dave.
I think they're all confusing, frankly, in a lot of ways. But let's say maybe your county auditor decides to open up a satellite voting office at a library or something, you know, outside of the traditional place so that you can still vote early there. That's considered one of the satellite ones. The way it is now, it's roughly the auditor's discretion about how many of these to open. Now, this last year, they closed most of these because of the pandemic. It also saves them money. Republicans are looking at the bottom line here. That's one of the things they're looking at. The proposal here, it would require an auditor to go out and collect 100 signatures through a petition before it would then have the right to open one of these satellite locations. So again, Republicans are looking at this in some ways from a money side of things. You open more of these, it costs more. It's also one more thing in the process here. So they're streamlining all of this, and they also want to make sure, are these things really needed? If you go out and get signatures on a petition, that could justify this. It's kind of the similar complaint from Democrats that this reduces one or perhaps more places where people could go vote early.
Okay, so you're saying they're just trying to force the auditors to justify the need or at least the desire for more satellite
That would be
locations.
one of the arguments for it, right?
Okay, this last topic that this is probably what we're going to hear the most vocal opposition to tonight. That's who can hand in a ballot. It's pretty wild.
This would be a big change, but the way it is right now, you could have some kind of political organization after you've filled it out, and they may have been the one saying, hey, fill it out, fill it out, fill it out, and if you do, we'll even come by your house and pick it up. That's one of the things Republicans want to stop. So that would end that under their proposal. So, and it would greatly limit who could turn these ballots in if you yourself don't turn it in. So it might have to be an immediate family member or perhaps a caretaker if you have one to return these. So that would be a significant change from what it is right now.
But not a neighbor, a
right,
friend.
A neighbor wouldn't
right.
count.
Right. That's where relationships start to come into question.
Now, of course, you can still mail it. You can still mail it.
Of course, yeah. There are obviously lots of ways that this is going to be argued tonight.
For sure.
Is there the political will to get this bill passed?
Yeah, and that's what we wait and see. And, you know, this sort of follows really a push from across the country. Donald Trump has put a lot of attention on voting. He claimed months before the election that there'd be all kinds of fraud, and if he lost, it would be because of the fraud. He is still saying that the election was stolen from him. The courts, Congress, the law enforcement, none of that has proven out any of these allegations. But Republicans have across the country looked at a series of changes that they say could make the process safer, and there's no question it would shorten the process about how this works. Well,